Today we are fixing up a fantastic treat that's wonderful for the holidays, but you can also use any time of the year. This is the traditional Texas Chex Mix. A lot of people refer to it as Texas trash. And let me tell you, if you have never tried this before, you are absolutely going to love this recipe. Hi, I'm Melissa Diane, and on this channel we have so much fun in the kitchen and in the garden and just all around our home. So we're going to head now into the pantry and check out all the ingredients we're going to be using for our treat today. We're going to head over here into the pantry because I've already gotten everything out that I believe we're going to need for our Texas Chex Mix. And so back here, these are the cereals that you're going to need. You're going to need some Cheerios. You're going to need some corn Chex. You're going to need some rice Chex. Normally, I just do regular wheat Chex. They didn't have any of those at our H-E-B, so we're using Honey Nut Chex. The first time we've done that, but I think it's going to add a nice little kick to it. Over here, we've got some mixed nuts, and then over here, some pretzel sticks. And I will put all this information in the description below the video. For our seasoning, for our little seasoning mix that we mix up, we're going to have some garlic powder and then some Worcestershire sauce. Okay, you're going to use some butter. I'm starting with a couple of sticks down here. We're going to have some onion powder. And then I have some crushed red pepper. I like to put that in my Chex Mix. And let's head into the kitchen. And now we're ready to start putting all of our ingredients together. Usually when I do this recipe, I will use one great big silver pan. And I didn't have one. I didn't realize it. So I did have several of these half size pans, so we're going to be using 2 of these today for our recipe. We're going to start putting all the cereal in. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in 2 cups of each of these. So we're going to start with our corn Chex. We're going to put in 2 cups of rice Chex. We're going to do 2 cups of Cheerios, and I'm going to do about 1.5 cups of these. Look at this. They're called Honey Nut Chex because I couldn't find the wheat Chex at the grocery store. So we're going to put these in. And we're going to stir this all together. And now the next thing we're going to put in are our pretzels. So we're going to take some of these pretzel sticks right here, and we're going to break these all either in half, possibly in 3, but at least in half. We're going to go ahead and add in our pretzels, and I just took these and I just broke most of them in half. That's about 1.5 cups of those, and now we're going to get about 1 cup of our mixed nuts. So let me get that poured together, and here we go. We got 1 cup of our mixed nuts. So let's mix all that and see what it's going to do. And if this works out okay, then we'll put the same amount in our pan next to it. And it does. It's a little more full than I normally like, but like I said, we're not using 1 big pan, we're using 2. So I think this will work fine. So let me get that other pan filled up and I'll be right back. I decided I think I'm just going to do 1 pan because I think that's all we need for this event. So we're just going to use 1 pan, and I'm going to go now and get all of our mixings that we're going to put together for the sauce that we're going to pour over all of this. First thing we're going to do is we're going to melt our butter in the microwave, and I'm going to start with 1.5 sticks. I think when I look at how much Chex Mix we have here, that amount should work. So we'll start with 1.5 sticks, and I'll be right back. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put in the rest of the ingredients rest of our ingredients here in our melted butter. I do not have a certain amount. Look at this. I pour it in there till it starts to change the color. And you just can't go wrong, y'all, with this. You really can't. I've tried doing measurements and everything, and you can't go wrong. So just put it in there, dump it in there, swirl it around. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is already starting to smell good. Okay, we got our Worcestershire sauce all in. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to put just a little bit of onion powder. I don't put a ton of this in. I just kind of cover the top of that. I put a lot more of the garlic powder than I do the onion powder. So here we go. Now we're coming in with that garlic powder. And I put a lot of that in. And then I'm just going to stir that all up. I'll have to taste it in just a minute. And I will tell you, once you mix all of this up, the butter, the Worcestershire sauce, the garlic powder, and everything, if you have never made this, don't take a great big whiff of it with your nose, because this is extremely strong, okay? But you can take a little taste of it. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in some crushed red pepper. I like to put this in. I cover the top. And I just think this really adds an extra kick. I know that some people will put hot sauce in it. You can do that also if you want. There are so many different versions. I think this is really just pretty much the traditional one. And it's just the one that I usually like to make for my family. So now I'm going to take this aside for a second and take a quick little taste of it. I mean, I'm still here. Okay, super good. Super good. Now I'm going to pull this over and let you look here, and I'm going to pour this all over the top, and then we'll kind of mix it a little bit and pour on some more. We're just going to take this, and it really helps if you can put this when you're mixing it in a little measuring cup like this, something that has a spout on it. Makes it so much easier. I just put this all across the top like that, and then I'll go ahead and take my spoon, take a large spoon. I like to mix it and just turn it over, because what you're wanting to do is to slowly coat all your pieces. Okay, let's put a little more in. Kind of go around. There we go. And let's just mix that to coat all of our pieces. And before you pour the little last bit in, you want to take your spoon and really mix up what's left, because you're always going to have some left over there because of that garlic powder that you put in. Look, you want to mix it up really good, because it kind of gets thick there at the end. And just put this all around, and that's okay if it gets a little thick, because you're going to mix this all together. But let me tell you, it is smelling fantastic. So we're going to mix. Don't worry if all of the pieces don't get something, because when we put this in the oven, we're going to be stopping it about every 15 minutes and turning everything over. Now, there is another way you could have done this. Since we could have put some of this in that other pan, so it's not quite so thick. It's just you really have to balance it, because you don't want all your pieces to get too cooked when you put it in the oven. So I think that having a little bit thicker and doing it this way is really going to be best. All right, so now you want to make sure that oven is on 250. And now we're going to go put this in the oven. Here we go with our Chex Mix, and we are now ready to go into the oven. We've got it on 250, and we're going to take it and place it in here. Here we go. Now you want to set your timer for 15 minutes, and then we'll be right back. Here we are after 15 minutes. Let me pull this out so you can see it. And now what we're going to do is we are going to take this, and let me turn that little timer, it's talking to me up there. We're going to take this, and I'm just going to completely turn this all over and then put it back in for 15 more minutes. Here we go. We have now turned this over 3 times, and so we're going to bring it out and see how it's doing. Wow, this is looking great. Oh wow, y'all, look at this. This is looking so good. It tastes wonderful. I've already tried it. And look at this cute little tin I got. I think that this Chex Mix, when you can put it in a pretty little tin like this, and look, this one says give thanks on the top. It just really sets it off. It's a great gift, and it's also great for any event. Be sure and click that little like button and click subscribe, and I will see you on the next video that's up there. Bye-bye.